Quick disclaimer before the video, I would just like to say that I'm now going to be uploading all my videos at 6 PM, just a little bit later, just to make it a bit more, I guess, of a reasonable time. And I'm now putting 2 races into 1 episode of the Iceman Returns, just to make it a bit easier, and so I can just smash out the videos and get the season out and completely over and done with. But that's been it for the disclaimer, and enjoy the video. What's going on, guys? My name is Jacob. After a brand new video today, we're here for part 13 of the Iceman Returns on F1 2012. First, we have the Italian Grand Prix and then the Singapore Grand Prix. So, on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix, lining up in 7th place with Roman Grosjean in 6th place. Jensen Button claimed pole, and now we have 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Raikkonen gets a very good start. Actually gets a run on his teammate Roman Grosjean, and coming up to the first corner using about half his curves, and then breaking down to the first corner he gets a run on Lewis Hamilton and takes it very easy, and then just finds a gap and goes for that gap, and he's already up into 5th place, and it looks like Mark Webber just gets better traction, and Raikkonen's up into 5th place now, so 2 places already made up from his grid position, and there is a Ferrari at the moment on the podium in front of the Tifosi. But still on the first lap, it looks like Raikkonen just clips the grass, but it goes at the inside of Mark Webber, but that turns to the outside for the next corner, and it seems like Webber again just has better traction and better acceleration in that Red Bull. Of course, it is very well known for the corner speed, and of course the traction it has with Adrian Newey making the car, and Raikkonen now gets sort of pushed off on the curb a bit, but he's now using the rest of his curves coming down into Ascari and under the odd bit of track now and up to Ascari. He looks very, very close to Webber, and he takes the corner very nicely and gets a nice run on Mark Webber. Loses the back end a bit coming out of Ascari, but as does Webber. But Raikkonen now just gets just follows in the slipstream really, and then he follows around the final corner, and Raikkonen might be able to get a run on Webber up to the first corner into Rettifidio if Raikkonen gets a good enough exit, which it looks like he has done. And look at the speed he has on Mark Webber now, and he goes to the right hand side, which is the inside of Rettifidio, first corner, the first part of the chicane anyway, and he's got the pass done even before the corner, and that's put Raikkonen up into 4th place. Next up is Fernando Alonso in the Ferrari, so he wants to try and spoil the Tifosi's party really, because of course it is Italy and they love the Ferraris, but nevertheless every single driver and team still wants to win, and they're not going to stop even though it is in front of the Tifosi. But it is a completely different feeling when that happens, and it looks like Vettel actually gets pushed down a bit as Raikkonen sets fast lap, and it looks like Alonso now might be vulnerable to Raikkonen as they are coming through the curving right-hander on lap 3 now. So DRS has been enabled, and it looks like Kimi now might go up the inside of Fernando Alonso into this corner. I know he's way too far back, but he has set another purple sector, so it's not over yet. And coming through the first Lesmo, Raikkonen is he seems to be losing his time in the second sector, but now coming through the second Lesmo, he is very good. Is very, very fast at the rest of the track, but the second sector is just where he seems to lose time compared to all the other drivers, and he has the DRS actually on Fernando Alonso, which should give him a bit more speed and try to salvage something now that he's lost. Now he's lost so much time. He's now down. Now it's a 1.7 gap as he sets another purple sector. Not as fast and tidy as sector 1, but it's still a very good sector. and now he goes up into the rich mix, coming into Parabolica and braking shift down into second gear, and then just shifting up his third gear through the corner, using curves and shifting up through the gears onto the main start finish straight. And it looks like I think Alonso is going to have, as Raikkonen says, a new fastest lap, but I think, and now it looks like Vettel's trying to make a move on Jensen Button again, but Vettel gets boxed out, and that means that Alonso gets slowed, and then Vettel gets slowed again, and Alonso gets slowed, and then Raikkonen gets slowed. You see he actually locked up there, and now this has definitely left Alonso vulnerable to Raikkonen, and Kimi goes up the inside, and he's made the move done. He's got the move done and up into the podium places, and has denied the Tifosi a Ferrari podium as it stands. But now coming through the second chicane, it makes it look like Raikkonen made a little mistake, and coming up to the first little Lesmo. Through there, Raikkonen is very close. He wants to obviously get past Sebastian Vettel, and now as we're moving on to lap 6, Kimi is very close to Sebastian Vettel now. Right behind him, and then up ahead is Jensen Button, and Raikkonen goes up the inside of Sebastian Vettel. He's got the inside, and then he gives Vettel left room on the inside, but Raikkonen has got the move done. I don't know, I think Vettel mainly focused on straight line speed, which didn't help us cornering there. And next up is Jensen Button, and he is the only person that stands between Kimi Raikkonen and a win here. And as Jensen Button pulls into pits, Raikkonen decided to do the opposite and decided to carry on for one more lap onto lap 7, and he gets the DRS even though Button has pitted and set a new fastest lap. So now Raikkonen just needs a quick in lap to try and make the overcut work on Jensen Button. Who knows whether it will work, but there's also Lewis Hamilton and Mark Webber that have stayed out as well. But Kimi, I think he knows what he's doing, as now on lap 7 he comes into the pits. He did actually set a purple first and second sector, but of course he had to come into the pits this lap and into the pit box, and going on are the prime tyres, the hard tyres for this weekend, and it's a 3.3 second stop. So now coming up onto the track, it depends. We'll have to wait and see where he feeds out back onto the track, if he has in fact made the overcut work on Jensen Button or not. And going out to the rich mix once again, and coming into the first corner, rest video, he has in fact got ahead of Jensen Button. It looks like Lewis Hamilton has actually got second at the moment, Button's got third. But that is still updating on the left hand side. But Raikkonen has claimed P1, and Jensen Button has maintained P2. And now onto the final lap. Raikkonen had a 5-second lead, and Button was managed to reduce that to 3.3. But it was still a very good race by Kimi Raikkonen, starting in 7th, finishing in the lead, as Raikkonen now has gone around Parabolica, and he crosses the line to win his third victory in 2012 since his comeback. His third victory with Lotus, gaining 6 positions, not set the fastest lap. That went to Fernando Alonso, but Raikkonen still just controlled the race after he took the lead of Jensen Button. And now the drivers saying the results, you can see Kimi Raikkonen won the race, and the two McLarens of Jensen Button and Lewis Hamilton rounded out the top 3. Sebastian Vettel finished in 4th, while Fernando Alonso finished in 5th. Mark Webber finished in 6th, so Fernando Alonso splitting the 2 Red Bulls. Nico Rosberg in 7th, Roman Grosjean in 8th, Kimi Kobayashi in 9th, and Michael Schumacher ran out the top 10, with Felipe Massa, who qualified down 14th, not just missing out the points. Look at the drivers standing, so you can see Jensen Button leads the way, 1 point ahead of Lewis Hamilton, with Kimi Raikkonen after that win moving up to 3rd place, with Mark Webber a further 6 points behind, with Fernando Alonso 2 points behind Webber in 5th, with Sebastian Vettel 10 points ahead of Roman Grosjean. 8th is Sergio Perez, and then rounding out the top 10 is the two Mercedes or Michael Schumacher and Nico Rosberg. On to the constructors' standings. McLaren lead the way ahead of Red Bull and Lotus. Ferrari in 4th, Sauber in 5th, Mercedes in 6th, 7th is Williams, 8th is Force India, and 9th is Ferrari. The teams yet got are Marussia, Caterham and XRT. But now let's go to the Singapore Grand Prix.
I was fine when you held my hand. I was fine when you pulled me down. You said the stars would answer. You said our prayers were written down. I was fine when you pulled me in. We were forced to be human, and then the world came after, and I had never questioned it. And they said it was wrong.
Welcome to Singapore under the floodlights now, and you can see Fernando Alonso claim pole, and Roman Grosjean, I'm not entirely sure where he qualified, and then you can see Kimi Raikkonen. Roman Grosjean qualified in 9th, so Lotus again having a very good qualifying in 9th and 10th. And now we have 15 laps ahead of us, starting on the super soft tyres, and it's lights out and away we go. Kimi Raikkonen, you can see, gets a fairly decent start, but then bogs down in the second phase, and that might leave him under pressure to Michael Schumacher. And now coming into the first corner, second gear, Raikkonen has already started to make up places, and he locks up slightly coming into turn 3. That doesn't affect him, and he's already up into 7th place, making up 3 places from where he qualified. And then he overtakes 3 cars there, all in one move. Actually, no, in 2 cars, as Mark Webber gets back around the outside with the best traction from that Red Bull. And Raikkonen now going up to the rich mix, and it looks like he might have a run on Mark Webber here, and he actually goes up the inside of 2 cars there. Another double overtake on Mark Webber and Jenson Button, and that puts him up into 5th place now. As we are now cutting onto later on lap 1 now, come through the Singapore sling. Raikkonen has been very quick to be there all weekend, and he absolutely cuts corner to avoid Sergio Perez there. And now coming up into the tight left-hander, first gear corner, Raikkonen goes at the inside, and it's a very, very aggressive move, but he gets the pass done and moves up into 2nd place. And Fernando Alonso is the only car left to pass. But Raikkonen's tyres went off very quickly, and he actually comes into the pits a lap early going onto the prime tyres, and it will be interesting to see where he feeds out and if he'll make his tyres last to the end of the Grand Prix or whether they will wear out. But Raikkonen of course maintained no damage, sustained no damage in the first stint, and now gone the soft tyres, super soft and soft for this weekend, and it's 3.5 second pit stop, slower than I was expecting with what the Lotus team have been capable of all throughout the season so far. But going back up into the rich mix, it looks like Raikkonen will join in 13th or 14th, and it is in fact 14th place as Bruno Senna now moves ahead, and Nori Kafkine is behind him, but he looks to go around the outside, but Kafkine hits the wall and loses part of his front wing, so that means Raikkonen is able to stay in 14th and try to now catch Bruno Senna. Coming on to lap 6, Senna again, Senna decides to continue on as Raikkonen now moves up into 9th place as some cars are pitting, and Raikkonen should right now still be in net 2nd place as he's still trying to catch Bruno Senna, so he still has a bit clearer. And now coming on to the end of lap 7, beginning of lap 8, Senna now decides to come in for Williams, and Raikkonen should move up into a net 2nd place. He's at 8th right now, then now it's 7th, and now it's 7th for 3rd, so 3rd at the moment, and now he's in 2nd. So he has maintained 2nd place, and that car there you can see is Fernando Alonso, and he makes a slight lock up there. Raikkonen still got no damage of course, but he does run wide and get the marbles after a slight little lock up, and is now coming on to lap 13. Raikkonen's going pretty well. He's got a little bit of damage, but now coming through here, he makes the wrong gear change, and then Sergio Perez actually hits him, and Raikkonen is put into the wall, and Jenson Button loses part of his front wing as well. And Perez actually did get a penalty for that, and we'll have to see what happens at the end of the race to see where Perez finishes. But I do have a bit of bad news while Raikkonen is trying to pit. Again, what happened, I think it was at Spa, happened again on this video. For some reason it just stopped working at the end, so I can't actually show you that, but nevertheless I have screenshotted the race results, and of course I've got the standings. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm still going to see what I'm still going to see if I can fix them for next video. Hopefully it won't happen for the next video, but that's just the way things go sometimes, so I have to just show you. But now coming out of the pits, Raikkonen is in 30th at the moment. Will he rejoin in 14th? And yes, he does at the moment. But Ricciardo, I think somebody else retires, which promotes Raikkonen up to 13th, because Raikkonen doesn't actually finish in 13th, unfortunately, so not a very good race. But now on to the race result. You can see Fernando Alonso won the race ahead of Felipe Massa, making it for 1-2. Then Lewis Hamilton is in 3rd. Whiteman finishes in 4th, with Roman Grosjean in 5th. Kuma Kobayashi finished in 6th there with his teammate Sergio Perez, who finished in 7th. You can see with a 10-second time penalty. Sebastian Vettel finished in 8th, Michael Schumacher and Nicolas Webber ran out the top 10, Bruno Senna in 11th. Now onto the driving standings. Lewis Hamilton again leads the way with Jenson Button not finishing in that race. Fernando Alonso leaps up to 3rd, with Mark Webber maintaining 4th, and 5th is Kimi Raikkonen now after dropping from 3rd in the championship. Sebastian Vettel only 4 points ahead of Roman Grosjean now. Sergio Perez and Michael Schumacher, with Nico Rosberg rounding out the top 10. And now on to constructor standings. McLaren is still lead away ahead of Red Bull and Lotus. Lotus now 10 points behind Red Bull. Ferrari and Sauber are in 4th and 5th, with Mercedes in 6th. 7th is Williams, 8th is Force India, and final point scorers in 9th is Toro Rosso. Marussia, Caterham and HRT are still yet to score. But that's it for this video guys. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big like, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you are new. For weekly F1 content, you can follow me on Twitter at @reprotrade_. As always, there's that down in the description. And if you want to go on Planet of Freedom, I highly recommend it. There's also a link to that down in the description. And all music used in this video is also put down in the description. But that's been it from me, and I will see you next time.